Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Halo, Mario Brothers. These are some of the names of the most popular games ever created. Whether you've played the games personally or you've heard about them, we all know about them. In this speech, I'm going to talk about gaming, specifically PC gaming, and how it got to be what it is today. The first thing I want to talk about is how video games got started. Some of the very first consoles ever made were the NES, the Sega Genesis, the Atari. They weren't big games. They were small. They were really like old school. They had pinball. They had 3D or 3 pixel like tennis. Nothing major. The first computer ever made was in the 50s, and it was so big that it would take up almost a whole room, and was so slow that you could do absolutely nothing on it. You could barely even send emails, and it wasn't even technically an email at the time. They were also so expensive that people couldn't afford them. PCs back in the day were a luxury item at most, where nowadays they're kind of just a given. We all have PCs. We use them for class. We use them for gaming, for work, for everything. Smithsonian said video games did not get their true start from computer programmers, but from an engineer skilled in another major invention of the 20th century, the television set. By the 1960s, millions of Americans had invested in televisions in their home, but these television sets were only used for TV, nothing else. Television sets are kind of what started the whole gaming industry. Without that, we wouldn't have games. We need the picture, we need the quality. Without any of this, no game today would exist. Secondly, I want to talk about what a PC is compared to a console for any other form of gaming. First, PC you can upgrade. PCs you can switch the parts out when they get bad. When your console goes bad, you've got to get rid of the whole thing and buy a new one, which can get very pricey at times. Although PC is more expensive, it's definitely a good alternative to console gaming because you can use them for a lot more things. You never hear people saying, "Oh, I can use my Xbox for homework," because you can't. They're not there yet. PCs you can use for anything. You can use it for schoolwork, like work, gaming, making music, listening to music, watching movies, everything. And they're very reliable. PCs are one of the most reliable things because, like I said, with the upgradability, if something goes wrong, you can usually get a warranty on it and replace that part. And you can do it yourself. Whereas if you have an Xbox and something breaks, you have to take it to Microsoft and they have to send it out to the distributor and have it fixed. Tech Radar says graphics cards determine what your desktop will be able to visually render, while PCs can get away with integrated graphics for simple tasks and even 4K streaming. Creating your own media and gaming box requires the discrete graphics power the only dedicated GPU can have. A graphics card is like what makes it pretty. Without a graphics card, you can't play games, or it would look really bad and probably not work. See, consoles have graphics cards in them, but they're stripped to their bare minimum. They can only be so powerful because they can't fit it in there. A graphics card is pretty big. It's like 3 times of an average phone nowadays, so they aren't small. And trying to cram all of the stuff into consoles just doesn't work as well as it does with the PC. The last thing I want to talk about is the servers. So Xbox has its own servers called Xbox Live. PlayStation has PSN. Well, the thing is, you have to pay for all of those. You have to pay monthly. You have to pay anywhere from $25 a year to $70 a year. PC has all of their servers free. You can get them, you can log on, you can play for free. They have this thing called Steam, which, according to oldest.org, Steam is one of the most popular and largest digital game distribution platforms of the world. It was developed by Valve Corporation and allows players to buy and play PC games. Steam is the biggest app for PC. You can buy games at discounts, you can buy them brand new, and you can even refund online games if you don't like it. Steam has been around for quite some time. It's been around since 2003. And it just shows like it was so small when it started, and now it's so huge. It's a big company. It's one of the biggest ones. Almost everyone you talk to who owns a PC knows what Steam is. And if they say they don't, they're lying. I challenge you, the next time you are playing a game or watching someone play or just looking at it, go look on the websites, look at the different types of PCs, and tell me they aren't so cool to see how they came from by looking up the old specs, old computers, seeing how they became from this big, massive, where it would take up the whole room, to now you can sit it in one corner of your room and just play, and it's cheap, it's reliable, it's not like it used to be. I challenge you to just look at it and tell me that it's not at least a little bit intriguing to see how technology has advanced to what it is today. Thank you.